Hello, hi, welcome. It is January 24th, 2022. We've got some news that happened over the weekend as well as here at the start of the week. Do want to remind everyone you can, of course, start listening to JPNN on audio podcast format, wherever podcasts are available. I believe all that stuff is up. And welcome to all the new viewers who are, listeners who are listening to the content that way. We're also going to not have background music for this. We'll see how that goes. Okay? We'll see how that goes. For now, though, let's go ahead and get to the news. We have a handful of things here. Of course, last week's news shook the gaming world. A little bit of things regarding that. Bloomberg.com is reporting that the CEO of Activision Blizzard, of course I'm talking about Bobby Kotick, is currently looking at a $375 million payday when Microsoft completes its $68.7 billion deal to buy the video game giant. I think there are some additional payments on top of that, but it's going to happen. Okay, that's it. There's no way, as I've stated multiple times, there's no way that he leaves the company without getting a fat check. That is just what happens to CEOs in the world. That's how that goes. He could probably kill a man and probably figure out how to get some money out of it. Not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's how it's going to happen. Now, GameSpot.com has an article where they spoke with a lawyer by the name of Richard Hoeg, who I feel like I've heard before, but I'm not sure where I could place the name. And they were talking about the Activision Blizzard acquisition. And he was commenting with the direct quote saying that there are potential pitfalls that are unlikely to scuttle the acquisition altogether. However, the deal will certainly attract the close attention of the United States Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, and the Department of Justice, the DOJ, as well as regulators who could request some changes and make the acquisition look different than initially planned. To start, he said that Microsoft is likely to argue that the overall gaming market is so broad, indie developers, etc., that the level of consolidation doesn't pose a risk to competition. This is what me and Rami were talking about last week when we covered this, as well as on Drop Frames when me, Zeke, and Co. discussed it as well. It's a pretty strong argument, especially to people not necessarily involved with the gaming industry. And, legally, I think it does hold some water there, but the deal's most likely going to go through. It might face some issues as this lawyer is saying, but it's going to happen. It's just going to happen. There is a analyst over at the New York Times who wrote about the acquisition, calling it the biggest deal in gaming history, and also talked about how the metaverse fits into Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard. You can definitely go check out that story and read more about it over at the nytimes.com if you have a subscription. Some of the news around the Yakuza creator, Toshihiro Nagoshi, regarding his new company is out. It will be called the Nagoshi Studio, and he will obviously serve as the CEO. There's 8 other founding members. They're all part of the Sega RGG studio beforehand. So good luck. We hope to see some games come out of them in the next couple of months. We will see how that goes. There's an interview with Famitsu as well, where he talks about leaving Sega, the reasons why he left Sega, as well as joining NetEase with the new studio. Riot Games is suing Vietnamese developer for copying League of Legends Teamfight Tactics spinoff. Eurogamer.net has that story. There was a lot of people who copied all of that stuff. Kind of interesting as well, because League of Legends kind of took that from you know. They're seeking $150,000 for each instance of copyright infringement, according to Eurogamer.net, and they have requested the California court restrict itmeJP, which is the Vietnamese developer, from selling their game. They denied copying Riot's game, but in the lawsuit, Riot published clear comparisons between the two, which does include names like Heimerdinger from League of Legends versus the character in the itmeJP game, Dinger. Timo from Riot versus Tommy, Tomee, from the other game. There's also Vi, VI versus Vi, VY. Great. There's also some text, according to Eurogamer, that has been copied and pasted from Riot, as well as similar abilities and character icons. Very different, clearly. Absolutely. No way in hell. On the 23rd, over the weekend, Steam broke its own record 2 weeks after setting the last record for the number of concurrent users that was achieved, with the new record being 29.1 million people logged in. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of cash being made there. A lot of cash. Deviation Games is expanding with a new Canadian studio. Push Square has the news on that. They are going to be called, I'm looking for it. We don't have background noise, and I hate this already. Deviation Games Canada. Why wouldn't you lead with that? The funny thing is, I guess they're also led by Call of Duty alumni as they're expanding. So, yeah, congratulations. That's how PlayStation gets back in the news, I guess. There's a new, speaking of game publishers and developers, a new company called New Tales, which I thought was a new Tales game. But no, it's just called New Tales. Has been formed by Activision, Blizzard, LucasArts, Sega, Sierra, and Ubisoft veterans. They announced their establishment over at Gamatsu with the story. They're developing a brand new IP and publishing and providing global publishing services over there. We'll see how that goes. Gamatsu.com has the full story if you want to follow up on that yourself. And then, of course, Zeva Dynamics has announced that it's joining the Unity family. They put out a YouTube video showcasing their... Oh my God. I'm freaking out because I'm watching the video right now. I don't like this at all. What is this uncanny valley nonsense? I'm done with this. If you're watching on the audio format, definitely go check out the YouTube video entitled Welcome Zeva Dynamics. You will not like it, but it's worth checking out. That's way too realistic. That's way too realistic. Going back to the video games, Elden Ring has gone gold. We watched a 47-minute Elden Ring Taipei game show showcase talking about the game. Didn't really reveal anything too new. They doubled down on the idea that the game is going to be about 30 hours if you mainline it. Didn't factor in any of the side questing there, but it's gone gold. That game is out. They're currently working on day one patches, and it will release on the 25th of February. I cannot wait. It was a very good 47-minute video as well if you have time to sit down and get nice and hyped. The Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection is launching on Friday this week, and PlayStation UK, and I think all of PlayStation, is offering a free movie ticket for people that buy the game to go check out the new Uncharted movie. I'm not sure when that ships. Does it say so in the tweet? It does not say it on the tweet. Does it say so in the article they linked? Wow, they linked you to a movie ticket offer terms and conditions. Weird. Weird. Strange thing. It's a nice way to get people to grab the game, though, and potentially go see the movie. We have the Steam top sellers for the week ending in the 23rd of January. We've got God of War at number 1, Monster Hunter Rise at number 2, Ready or Not at 3, Dying Light 2 Stay Human coming in at 4. That game's not out yet. And then Elden Ring, of course, which we just talked about, coming out in February, sitting at the 5th spot. God of War is the first PlayStation game published on Steam to rank number 1 for the best sellers chart for 2 weeks in a row. Days Gone was number 1 for 1 week, while Horizon lost out to Fall Guys when it was at the peak of its hype back in 2017, I do believe. Moving forward, we talked about the Dark Souls 3 remote code execution exploit that propped up over the weekend on dropped frames. Dark Souls game has come out on Twitter and taken down the online services to investigate this. I don't think there's been any new news on the situation, but at least people aren't out there getting, hacked, having different executables run on their system, etc. Probably the right thing to do. This, of course, poses worries moving forward with Elden Ring about a month out, that if there's any similar network architecture, which kind of makes sense that there would be, that hopefully that gets patched and, changed. Could be spooky. Halo Infinite's changing how they're earning credits coming up in the Season 2 Battle Pass. The multiplayer will let players earn credits in its Season 2 Battle Pass that they will then be able to use on the in-game shop to buy items, cosmetics, and even a new Battle Pass. IGN.com has the article if you want to check that out. Hitman 3 came out on the 20th. At least year 2 started for Hitman 3. That, of course, came with the update for PC VR. And it's not going so well. Currently on Steam, it's sitting at 50% negative reviews. Apparently, the VR version of Hitman is just not great. However, if you're a content creator, it seems like it's gold because it's so fucked up. So I still want to check it out personally. And I've seen a bunch of different content creators who have played it themselves. It seems like a real wild, absolute nonsensical situation. But for consumers, it's not supposed to be that good. So we'll see. I'll get my hands on it eventually. I'm waiting for my VR prescription lenses to come in. We'll see how that goes. In Ubisoft news, Watchdog Legion has announced it will not be getting any further updates. And they have confirmed that the previous title update in September of 2021 was its last. I haven't heard anyone talk about Watch Dogs, let alone Watch Dogs Legion, so that makes a lot of sense. Gran Turismo is out there talking about how big that game's going to be on the PS5 for the upcoming Gran Turismo 7 release, clocking it at 110 gigabytes. Seems like since Call of Duty is no longer going to be on that platform in the next couple of years, they got to find a new network hog, and they found it in the racing game. Also, that's not real. Call of Duty is still on PlayStation, blah, 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 blah. Have to, got to make sure you state that. But 110 gigs, quite big. Got a bunch of random news here to wrap up JPNN on this Monday. GameSpot put out a Twitter poll discussing who would win in a fight, Kratos or Thanos. With 130,000 plus votes coming in, Kratos wins at 81%. I think Thanos. Tough fight. If it's just basic bitch Thanos and not like Infinity Gauntlet Thanos, then I guess Kratos wins. I don't know. That's kind of a tough one. Hard to say. Let's go with Kratos. Let's side with 81% of the internet. Go with Kratos. Dreams, which of course is the popular Media Molecule game that came out on PlayStation and was used to just make weird Super Saiyan games, as well as a Sonic thing, and also some just weird art, fartsy nonsense, at least when I played it. It's going to be used for its a feature film for the first time. Polygon.com has that story. It is entitled A Winter's Journey, and it was picked up by Sony Pictures Classics. So Dreams continues to be weird as shit, and I love it. It's fantastic. Yoshi P, the head of Final Fantasy XIV, was out there singing karaoke over the weekend. It got tweeted out. He's covering the Asian Kung Fu Generation's Rewrite song, which I've never heard. It's probably DMCA-able, so I will not play it, but you can find it on Twitter. Feel free to go and do your own searching. A fan is currently making a 60 FPS PC port of Zelda The Ocarina of Time, and it's nearing completion. Of course, that is until Nintendo finds out about it through this type of news and says, shut the fuck up, you're not making anything, bitch. Hits them, and then the game's never to be seen again. So that's probably what's going to happen with that. So I guess try to download it if you can as fast as possible, because it's not going to go anywhere once that thing blows up. Nintendo generally does that. That's usually how that goes. There's a Sea of Thieves preview event announced for this Thursday on the 27th for a first look at the adventures, mysteries, and more that await you in the year ahead, according to their Twitter. We might cover a little bit about that on Friday's edition of JPNN, and maybe even some on trailer time as well. And, this is kind of interesting. I guess this makes video game sense. Yervin, our editor, decided to throw this in here. Wordle, responsible for all the fucking nonsensical boxes on my Twitter feed, apparently has a Twitter bot that is spoilering the tomorrow's word of the day for Wordle. And I say, good. Get that shit off my fucking feed. GameSpot.com has that story if you want to go figure out and find out more about it. And if you don't know what Wordle is, well, you might be better off. It's fine. And last news, but certainly not the least, we do have a rumor regarding that Chrono Cross remaster that everyone thought was going to be announced at the Game Awards this past year. That apparently has been pushed to sometime in February, according to pushsquare.com. We will see what happens. I would love a Chrono Cross anything. I would love a Chrono Trigger anything. Chrono Cross has one of the best tunes in all of video games. So we'll just really have to see what happens and if this remaster is real. There's not really any events happening in February. There's just a shit ton of game releases, and I feel like it would probably get lost in the news. So I'd be surprised if that was the case, but hey, who could really say? Anyways, that's going to do it for JPNN today. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Let me know what you think about the absence of music. If that is the case, maybe I could just find some like weird ambient, no lyric music and figure something out. We will see. For now, though, I'm out. We'll see you on Wednesday's edition of JPNN and for trailer time as well. Have a good rest of your day. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.